My partner was downstairs in the garage washing the car, and he saw Mr. Turnip standing in the archway at a distance, making his presence known. I immediately put some food on a plate, left it under the car, hoping that he would find it and know that somebody cared. For about a year, I would put the food under the car for him, but there was really no getting close to him.
Hi, Mr. Turnip.
I would talk to him and I would tell him, hang on, I'm going to get you out of here. Mr. Turnip did not have teeth. He was missing a lot of fur, and he had scabs all over his body because he was sleeping on hard, cold cement on motor oil under the cars. He was not in good condition. Next door to our loft was the 280 highway on-ramp. What I found out was under that on-ramp was a cat colony.
He's very, very cute.
He probably got in fights. Maybe there was another dominant cat in the area that was too much that he didn't want to deal with, and he moved into our underground parking area. He was in really bad shape, and he was not going to make it if we didn't take him out of there. There was something about the way he looked at me, his eyes, his soul. He was not just another cat at all. My heart just reached out to him. I felt compelled. We obtained a track. We brought Mr. Turnip home into the basement. The food was always eaten. I did not see Mr. Turnip. He was completely hiding, and he was very unhappy. I felt guilty, and I thought, okay, it would be best to let Mr. Turnip try the backyard and see how he felt. And that was when our love story really started.
Mr. Turnip's lunch?
I would see him in the garden, but he would always keep a distance.
Where is he?
He would give me blinky love eyes, which completely sucked me in.
You are the sweetest.
I was obsessed with making his life as amazing as it could be.
I have your breakfast.
We had a lot of very rainy, cold winters here that had to be navigated. I went online and I found a tent ironically called the Night Cat. That is the model of the tent.
You're gonna come out?
I put his heated bed inside it. That's when he became a feral cat homeowner. He slept there pretty much every night. He would sit inside of that heated tent and just beam contentness and happiness, and it made my heart so happy.
Would you like Sunday breakfast in bed? Yes, that can be arranged.
I would make homemade cat food for Mr. Turnip. All he could have was liquid soft food.
You ready for your breakfast?
I had some rough years in my teen years, and I saw myself in this cat, and I wanted him to have the healthiest food that he could have because I knew he'd had such poor nutrition for so long.
How was that?
I would say, good morning, Mr. Turnip, it's time for breakfast, and he would come running from wherever he was for his breakfast.
Getting your snack this morning?
He loved to sit in the sun. He loved the warmth because he'd been in the dark for so long that when he came here and he could sit in the sun and listen to the birds and watch the squirrels, he was completely happy.
He's just sitting in my garden, getting some sun.
If I had a bad day, I would go talk to him and tell him all my problems, and he would just sit there and listen with his big blue eyes and take it all in.
There he is.
When we would have guests over, especially pretty girls, he loved meeting the ladies, and he loved having everybody talk to him in a sweet voice.
Mr. Sebastian and Mr. Turnip.
Valentino and Sebastian are our two ginger boys in the house. They would sit at the top of the stairs, and Mr. Turnip would sit at the bottom of the stairs. They loved to gaze at each other peacefully. He had companions.
Valentino.
They probably walked up to him at one time or another, and they got the hiss and got the message, and they would stay in their spot very respectfully. We called him Uncle Turnip because he was their elder. If he did not like the food that I had served him, he would kind of snub me for a while. He would hang out in the other backyard, and then I would have to bring him something else. Feral cats are by nature silent because in the wild, cats do not speak because it would alert predators.
You see what's in the bowl? He loves looking at what's in the bowl.
In October, after having Mr. Turnip in my life for about 7 years, I went down to bring him dinner one night, and I heard a small meow. For the next about 40 nights, I would bring him his food, and I would say, hello, Mr. Turnip, and I would hear just like that, the sweetest little meow. I counted every meow because I was like, this is wild. He abruptly stopped. He never meowed again. 40 meows in his lifetime in our relationship. What did it mean? I have no idea, but I really want to know. I loved him so much, and I told him every single day how much I loved him. People would say, oh, you're crazy. Why are you doing that? It's just a cat. And I just said, it's not just a cat. It's Mr. Turnip. I was never able to touch Mr. Turnip. That was a very firm rule that he had. And I knew that I would not touch him until he passed away.
I love you, Mr. Turnip.
Mr. Turnip was probably between 14, 15 years old when he passed away on April 9th, 2024, the night of the eclipse.